This is Pod Populi.
Podcast for the people.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
Hi again, everyone. It's Brian Howie. Welcome to The Great Love Debate, the world's #1 dating and relationship podcast since 2015. I am very excited today because I have somebody with me on the podcast. She's via Zoom, but we have technology, so she's socially distanced, but I feel like she's right here. I've not spoken to her in quite some time. I used to speak to her all the time, but life got in the way of that. She is an actress, model, mom, author. You know her from Baywatch, 2 times on Celebrity Apprentice. I'm sure I have some questions about that. She is one of the all-time Playboy Playmates of the year. And now she's a bit of an influencer, which we'll also get into in a moment. She's also your celebrity realtor if you want to buy a really expensive house in Southern California. My old friend, Brande Roderick. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. But old friend? Are you saying
no, not old in terms of chronological age. We go way back. And I like I said, I used to see you all the time, and now I haven't seen you for a long time. But there are 2 times recently that I saw you, and I wanted to catch up with you. And one of the times it was at a theater show in Hollywood, and I saw you, and I just didn't get a chance. The other time I saw you, I was at Del Mar at the horse races, and an announcement came up that Brande Roderick was going to be presenting the trophy in the winner's circle. So I'm like, oh, Brandy's here. I'm going to go say hello. I start to approach the winner's circle where you are. And do you know what was going on in the winner's circle at that time?
I'm guessing you're going to say my ex got down on one knee and proposed.
Yes. So I'm about 20 feet away, and I'm like, oh, wait, there's a guy getting on his knee in the winner's circle at Del Mar. So I'm like, she probably is busy right now, and so I'll wait my turn. But so I was there. I saw that. I was there. I know he's your ex, but I was there for a moment along with about 20,000 other people. That was kind of ballsy that he did that, you know?
Yeah. Cool. That was fun because we love the races. We love the races. We even had a horse, a race horse, and so it was kind of our thing. So it was kind of the perfect place to do it.
We deal with love and dating and relationships on here a lot, and we always say that everything when it comes to love, dating, and relationships really stems from 2 things: confidence and communication. And back in the day, I remember we went out to lunch one time, and you were talking about your dating, the guys you had dated, and they weren't such great guys or whatever. And for somebody to me who seemed outwardly confident, there was still something inside you that either you felt you weren't quite good enough, or you were choosing men who you knew they weren't right for you. There was a lack of confidence that the world could not see that you were aware of. And I thought that was interesting at the time.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it was living in LA and dating in LA, because I still hear this from women that live in Los Angeles, because you're around a bunch of men that actually are always looking for the next best thing. There's always all these beautiful women around, and guys are kind of forever the Peter Pan in Los Angeles. So when you're dating out there, it makes it very difficult for women.
Yeah, you said you once said men are just little boys and they just get into grown-up bodies. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, for the most part.
I get that. So a guy, it would take, I think, a confident man to ask you out now or then. But then the guy is like, well, if I can date Brande, I must also be able to date everybody who is as good or not as, but like, if I can get her, I can get her too.
Absolutely. And then once you break up and they realize they can't get another Brande, they're like, oh, fudge.
They appreciate Brande. I know, but I remember you were dating, you were part of the Hugh Hefner dating world once in a while. For a little while, and you were like, well, he did at least know how to treat a woman to make you feel special, even though there were other people around. And I thought that was kind of, I don't know. That must have been an interesting predicament, you know?
Yeah, no, he was such a he was a romantic, actually. He really was a very wonderful, genuine, fun guy, and never it's kind of crazy because you would think, oh my gosh, he probably snuck off and cheated all the time. But when we were together for our 2 years, never once did he ever cheat, or did I ever feel like, oh my God, he's cheating or anything like that. And you would think the complete opposite.
And how did he make you feel that was the case? How did he communicate to you that you are, I know there's, and you go to the mansion and there was all sorts of beautiful women around. How did he let you know then to make you feel safe in your relationship?
Well, because I was with him 5 days a week. And then in every relationship, I'm a very independent person. So I said, he really wanted me to move in. I said, if I move in, I need 2 nights off to myself. I need my own apartment. I need 2 nights because I got to go to my acting class. I got to do something with my girlfriends. So we were together, all the time. And then on the 2 nights that I wasn't there was manly night. He was with all of his friends. He did this thing where the guys,
James Caan and those guys. Was it like Bill Cosby and James Caan? Like, who was it? Who was in that manly circle that he has over? There are some old guys there.
Ray Anthony.
Yeah.
Richard Ban.
Yeah.
There was like a handful of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, it was, I never felt like, out of everybody, you think he would be the one you'd be most worried about, but you never know. Don't look by its cover.
Yeah, I know. And, because I guess you kind of knew that he knew that there were a lot of girls around who wanted to be in your position. And part of that, when the man gets to a certain point where I think he's no longer insecure, and Hef was very secure after a while, then they don't feel the need to stray. They don't feel the need to prove things to everybody and to themselves all the time. So there is some upside with being with, Warren Beatty is famously the most bachelor forever, and he's been married to Annette Bening now like 25 years,
Yeah.
They got to a point where it's like, this is what I want, and I want this with you, and I don't need anything else. And he was able to make her feel comfortable in that.
I think cheating comes from insecurities, for sure, 100%. Because if you're confident and secure in who you are, and if you're not happy, then you will tell the person, hey, I'm not happy, so, we need to break up or whatever, instead of going out and cheating and being insecure, and not being a man enough to tell the woman that, I'm not happy in this relationship. So they're just insecure little babies if they cheat.
How long were you in Los Angeles before you got in Playboy?
Well, I moved into Los Angeles either 97 or 98, and I was Miss April 2000.
Okay, so a couple of years.
Yeah.
Once that happens, then at least every man in Hollywood knows who you are. Okay. I know who you are. Everybody knew who you are. What was that like, suddenly getting the calls, the attention? Because everybody wants to date. You were a Playmate, but then you were Playmate of the Year, and everybody wants that girl. What was that like?
I was doing a documentary, and we were talking about this very thing, about how as young girls, you don't know your freaking power. So not only was I Playmate of the Year, I was Baywatch Babe, the only Baywatch Babe to ever be Playmate of the Year in that height of that Hollywood era, where people were just having fun and we didn't have to worry about, social media and getting caught on camera, whatever. I didn't even know. Like, I wish I could go back, because you don't realize as a young person, you're not confident yet. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, having all that Playmate of the Year and Baywatch Babe, like, right. I probably could have whatever I wanted, but I was so stuck in, like, I guess, insecurities of being the same 15-year-old awkward girl, that's still in you. So I was dating kind of awkward guys, as you know, because I talked about it on your other show,
right.
All the people I dated. But yeah, I wish I could go back now and know that power that I had.
And at what point in your life did you sort of own that power? Because a lot of people either don't recognize the power, a lot of women, or don't know how to use it, or they don't want it. And so at what point do you sort of harness this I'm confident and I'm in control of the outcome here?
I think it took
Like
this
Tuesday?
long after I got divorced. And now I'm not, a spring chicken anymore. I'm not, the young 24-year-old Baywatch Babe Playmate of the Year. I'm 46 years old. So it's different. So it's not like I have that kind of power that I would have had, back then had I used it. Now it's just more of a power of knowing who I am, and I don't give a rat's ass whether you like it or you don't, because I'm okay. If you leave, I'm okay.
Here's the door.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's a different kind of power now.
So that didn't happen. That didn't happen until after your marriage.
Yes. Yep.
Huh. So you went into marriage, still not entirely sure of you, and then you go through marriage, and then you come out the other side, and you find it.
Yep. Because when I went into my marriage, I wanted to be married so bad. I wanted kids so bad. So there's and I was already when I met him, I was 31, I think. And women, it's like once we hit 30, we're like, oh my God, I get married, have kids.
Especially in Hollywood. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like urging for that and got it. And then was kind of a little broken down during my marriage. Not really fully secure, I guess. And then, I'm walking around like a zombie because I had 2 kids under 2 and working, and it was just kind of crazy. But yeah, I didn't really build that security till after my divorce. And I've been divorced now almost 5 years, but it took some time.
And I know you expressed a lot of that. You did write a book, Bounce, Don't Break. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by that? That life is going to hit you and you got to absorb it and roll with it, and there's ways to sort of keep moving forward?
Yep. It's like Lionel Richie said, when you win, you win. When you lose, you learn, right? So you fall down, you get back up, and you get out there and bounce up. So it was just kind of like that, just explaining and teaching to people that go out there and take risks and take chances. And if you fail, it's okay, because you're going to come out better on the other side. What
do you consider to be your either personal or professional low point? Is there one point that you're like, this is where I really needed to change the way I thought about my life and myself?
Well, I mean, as far as career goes, when I got Baywatch, I was just being Playmate, getting Baywatch. And when I went on the show, I thought, this is it. Oh my God, I've made it. Jay Leno's talking about me. It's, I'm working with, Michael Bergen and Jason Momoa, and, I've made it. And then the show gets canceled and you have a reality check. And I was spending all my money left and right thinking that, I've made it. I'm going to get everything. You
thought that show would run forever. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know. I'm a young kid. I was on the #1 watched show in the world. Then everything went to a screeching halt because it got canceled. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. So now I have to start all over again and go out and audition again and blah, 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 blah. I thought that it was going to be easy after that. But you learn, no, you have to keep going. You have to keep reinventing yourself and get back out there. Life is not easy. It's not going to just be handed over on a silver platter. You have to keep going.
Yeah. Well, that probably served you well on Celebrity Apprentice. So I have a question. I don't want to get too much into that, and I know that nobody wants their Google search to be littered with Trump all the time or whatever. But they tried to sort of drag you into saying bad things about your experience with Trump and do that. And I remember that happening, and you were just like, this would probably benefit me to play this game. I'm not playing this game.
You mean when they were trying to
bash Trump, and you're like, you would look pretty on your knee, or whatever the comment was, and they tried to drag you into it, and you were like, you know what? Overall, it was a fine experience, and he didn't bother me.
Yeah, no, I was not going to succumb to what they were trying to do, or trying to make me say that I felt or whatever. Trump was nice to me. He did not try to propose to me as much as they tried to say he did. Yeah. He did not ever try to, I was married at the time. He wasn't trying to hit on me or any of that stuff, So
I know,
Yeah,
and you
it
just
was-
sort of calmly answered that, and that was driving people